Hi, welcome to MySetlist.co. This is Vince. I created this thing and I'm going to take you through it just so you can see it. Hopefully make it make sense. It's a pretty simple thing to see in action. This is the home page you get to when you come to MySetlist.co. You'll find it pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward, hopefully. First thing to say is there is a blog link up here on the on the site, which you just drop through to. I'm using this blog to review music. I find I tend to spend a lot of time on Reverb Nation listening to independent artists as well as more established artists. But what I've done further down here is to do reviews of songs. For example, here's a song by Gussie Miller from LA. I don't know Gussie, but I've done a quick review. And I'm doing that so that I can spread the word about good music that I hear that maybe you haven't had a chance to hear. I also had the luck the other day, and real luck, to go and see Radiohead. What a great band, one of my favourites, and I've never quite got to see them live. So there's a review there of that gig. You can come to the blog without using mysetlist.co. You just need to know it's there. So it's mysetlist.co, and then when you get there, you just click the blog button. You can always get back. It's pretty easy to get back to my setlist. So okay, let's jump into my set list and show you how it works. It really is quite simple, and it does what it's called. It's a way of managing set lists for musicians, DJs, producers. I am a musician. I play out acoustically on my own. I play in various bands. And basically the site came about because I was carrying around this long list of 80 plus songs that I use for my acoustic shows, and I was assembling sets on the fly from that list, and I found I was playing the same songs over and again and missing the ones at the dusty end of the set. So, and I really couldn't remember what I'd played the week before or the gig before at the venue. So I just got really frustrated with this tattered piece of paper and playing the same songs over and again. So what I did was, one of my silly sets of skills is to be able to build web apps, and I just do that for fun. So I built my set list. Let's show you how it works. It's free. It'll stay free for the basic functionality forever. If I choose to go in the direction of a premium membership, I've got ideas of what I can do there. But basically, this will stay free, and I welcome any musician who wants to use it. It's really my offering. Basically, what happened was I was using it live on my cell phone, on my iPhone, and other musicians said, "Can I use it?" So I said, "All right, I'll make it available." So here it is. It's all in the cloud. This is running off the web at the moment, and it's just after 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So in peak web hours of when the web's working. So I chose to do the training and the video while it was online rather than doing it on my home computer, because I didn't want to show you it working in non-real conditions. So we haven't got a username and password yet. Let's jump in there. So create a profile. You'll find that most of the forms come up and open up on top, so you're generally staying in the same place. For this thing, I'll create an imaginary band called MySetlist. Obviously it's my, and Setlist is the first and last names. I'm going to put my business email here so that you can see that. contact@theviewbeyond.com. That's my business email. You can always get in touch with me there. If you hit the contact form on my set list, it's down here on the bottom here. You can see that. That's where that gets sent to. So no problem with you using that email. Please do if you want to give me any feedback on the site. I'm going to create a password. And because I don't particularly want you seeing my security questions and answers I use, I'm just going to use question and answer. You can use whatever you like there. I'm putting in the primary act is my set list. I play in a number of live outfits, so my primary artist is me, Vincent Tuckwood, for my acoustic shows. But I've got sets by various artists. You'll see how we do that once we're in the system. But you can put your primary artist in there. So let's create the profile. It really is as simple as that. We've got a profile now. Congratulations, you can log in now. It tells you can do that. So let's go in. My setlist is the user. The password was that. There we go. And we're going to go in. You can see there's a forgot password box there as well. We're now in the home page for the site. I've hidden the adverts so that they don't annoy us as we're going through. The adverts will just run there in the little bar on the right hand side over here. One more thing to point out around, a couple of things about the home page. There's the home button just there. You can always get back to this page. Contact, there's a legal disclaimer. That's my business there, so you can find out the other things I do for writers and for businesses. And also this little plus button. If you like what you find in MySetlist, please do share it. Let other people know about it. You've got most of the major networks there. You've got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. Up here is your main navigation. So you can see here, it's got a button for me that's my little admin area. You won't see that button. It's just so I can keep an eye on what's happening in the database. But these 6 buttons will be there for you. The logout is pretty obvious. Your profile, let's go and have a look at the profile. You can see it's the data we just entered. Username can't be changed. I leave that way so that we never get confusion over emails, etc. Because you can change your email, you can't change your username. And you can update your email security and password, and there'll be a button there very shortly to change your primary artist as well. I didn't do that in the first release because it wasn't critical. If it is critical, let me know and we can change it. So the blog's there. You see the blog button still there. So profile and blog, and then there's the main functionality just here in these buttons. It's a set list tool. So let's go over to sets. And the first thing it's going to say is you can't create a set list until you have some songs to play, which is kind of logical. I presume you've been practicing in noisy basements for a while to be able to play live. So let's go and have a look at songs. We'll go over here, add a song. You can add one from the set pages where you saw that, and you get this little form. I don't, you know, one of the things I've tried to do with my set list is keep it data light. I get tired of, for example, on Reverb Nation, whenever you put in the details about a gig, you have to put in all manner of details, and it's just a pain in the neck. So this keeps it pretty focused on what you want to achieve rather than focused on some other thing out there. So we'll call this song, I'm going to put in 2 or 3 songs just so we've got it. First song, we'll call it first song. Now let's cover this field quickly here. Display on set list is different to song name. The reason being that I don't know about you, but when I'm running sets, and depending on the setup, I quite often have little notes next to the song names to remind me of things. For example, if the drummer starts the song with a 4 count or a 5 count or whatever it is, or I quite often for my acoustic shows have which position the capo's in. So let's do that. So I might put on my set list that it's a capo 3 song, for example. I'll call it an original. It's an original or a cover. The original artist is MySetlist. It might be Vincent Tuckwood. I don't know. It can be anything. And of course, the first song's always high tempo, so let's call it a high tempo song. But it's your call, that one. It's all relative. I'm not collecting data on who's got high tempo, mid tempo, low tempo. It's really just your call, and it does affect slightly what happens on the setlist view. I'll show you that as we go through. So we'll add that song. The song will appear on there. There's a bit of functionality I want to show you on this page. That's I've enabled it now for you to use, and over time I've got bigger plans for it, I guess. But for now, you'll see this thing called rating over here. It's a scale of 1 to 5. Your scale again. You can just rate this song and say, okay, I think it's around there. I think it's around a 2, for example, and it's going to come out there. Longer term, what this does is I'm planning on building if I do build the premium level, then there'll be the functionality to share your set list with your fans with the question, were you at the gig last night, what did you think of each song, so that they can go in and rate it. And over time what you're going to see is 2 bars, your rating here and the audience rating, so that you get a feel for which ones are your great songs that the audience love, which ones are great songs that you haven't played for a while, what I call the sleeping giants, which ones nobody's interested in and hasn't heard, with sleeping dogs, and let them lie, that sort of thing. So all of that comes from the rating, but right now it's just your way of tracking for yourself what it looks like. So let's add a couple more songs in here, just so we've got some to work with on a set list. We'll call that second song number 2. That means something in the UK. I don't know if they say that in the US, but anyway, it's a number 2 song. Alright, let's go here, and it's my set list, and we'll make that a mid-tempo song. And then finally, you'll see it's just reloading as it goes through. Let's do one just so we've got it, and we'll put it as the coolest song. I think it deserves an ever in caps things. There we go. So we'll call that a cover, and we'll get it by the master John Lennon. There we go. And it's a low tempo song. Cool. Okay. So in the space of a couple of minutes with me blathering on, we've managed to add 3 songs in there. I literally sat with the tool shortly after launching it a couple of weeks back, and I did my 80 songs. It took me a little while, but it's pretty straightforward to do it. You just have to get in the routine of doing the songs, and once they're there, you can sort them by song name. You can sort them by artist. You can sort them by rating, so you could very quickly call up which one's my highest rated song, which one's my lowest rated song, and it'll only show 10 per page, so it keeps it manageable. It keeps it on one screen. You're not doing endless scrolling all the way through there. Functionality that could be added here, searching for songs, etc., but I've not done that in the first release. I was more concerned to get it out. So we've got songs. Now we need somewhere to play. And what I'm going to show you here is how light I've kept the data. I really don't want to know about the venue. I don't want to know the address. I don't want to know the opening time of the door or any of that stuff, because this isn't a gig management. You can do that in Reverb Nation. You can do it in Sonic Bids. You can do it wherever you want to do it, or on a Google Calendar. You know, there's solutions for that. There isn't a set list builder. So this was really a set list builder. So really all you need is the venue name. So we'll call it the Dog and Bracket. Which is a pub I've never seen, never heard of, but I'll make it up. It's a pub, and let's say it's got a smelly bathroom. Just so we got a note, it's a little bathroom. Yeah, we'll accept bathroom. Just a note for yourself that says kind of something about the venue, so that when you've added the venue and you scan it, you can see this is a pub with a smelly bathroom. It's under the Dog and Bracket. You can edit the details of the pub. You can change that note if they clean up the bathroom. Let's do that. I'll put another one in here just so we got it. We'll call it Good Times, after the immortal Chic song. Let's if I can type. There we go. And we'll call it Disco. There we go. There's nothing worse for a rock band than saying disco. I actually quite like disco and dance music, so it's a different. But I've had a bass player who had a kind of viral reaction to that word. So we've got a couple of venues now. What you'll see is the add set thing here. I'll come back and show you that in a minute. I'm not going to click that from here because I don't want to use it there, but it'll make sense in a second. We don't have any set lists. Why not add one now? You see that now we've got songs. It's actually saying you can create a set. So let's add a set first off. And what happens in your set list? The web's just decided to go a little bit slow. There we go. Here's your songs that you created earlier on, and they're on bits of gaffer tape, so you can move them around and stick them and do all those things. And you'll see what's displaying on the tape is the display name you created, not the song name. And that's why there's difference here, because what you're doing here is building your set list. We've got some data down at the bottom of the page here, which you can see. Do you want to create a new set based on this? Do you want to update the set? What's the act? Where's the venue? We'll come back to this in a second. But the main thing here is your set. So let's say we want to start with the first song, as we always do. And then we're going to play Imagine. And in the last of our short set, we're going to play number 2. So basically you've got your whole song library here on the right. And you've got the you got your set on the left. You can start over. You could clear the thing there. It's going to just refresh this. So there's your songs back in there. You can change set list. That will become clearer if you've got multiple set lists. I'll show you that in a second. But let's say we're going to go back in, and this time we're going to say let's create the same set. We sit there looking at the set and we think, I'm not sure. Hang on a second. Does that go better there? Does this one go better there? Let's think. Now what you'll see, if you're looking at this in glorious colour, there's this first song is in green. It's in dark green. The number 2 is in a kind of blue, a medium blue, and the coolest song ever, which was Imagine, which was the low tempo, was in the light blue. That's a function of the tempo, the colours there, and over time what you'll see is the high tempo ones stand out slightly compared to the low tempo ones. Which is what I was trying to get there. So you could just scan the thing and say, okay, what's the flow of the set? Have I got too much in the way of high tempo? Can I spread things out a little bit more? What I'm going to do is, after we've logged out of my setlist, I'll go into my account, and you can see something that looks like it's got 80 songs in there, so you can see how it flows. So go down here. We're going to say, okay, we're playing at the Dog and Bracket, and let's make it a Christmas gig. this year, quite an early booking. So load in, let's just say the load in at 9 a.m. It's a really early Christmas gig. So what we've got is we're going to create a new set. We save the set here. Now we go over to set lists, and you can see there's a set list. So this is the artist and the gig. Okay. If we go back to the venues now, what you'll see, I mentioned this earlier on, you'll see that at the dog and bracket we've got a set list, and what you'll see is a list of your set list at that venue. So what that allows you to do is go and say, okay, the last time we played the dog and bracket, what did we play, and how do we want to change it? Now, the good thing is what you can do is from here is click an existing set list, and there it is with the songs in there. Now you'd have all your other songs in the library here. You might say, well, we've got a new gig coming up at the dog and bracket. I want to use this set list, but I don't want to play number 2 this time. So what we're going to do is create a new set based on this one. It's at the dog and bracket, but this one's going to happen. Let's say they booked us in on the 10th of October 2012, and they gave us some latitude and said it was an 11 a.m. load in. So now we're going to save this set, but what we're doing is creating a new set based on this. And we've got 2 sets now. If we go to the venue, the dog and bracket, what we can see over in the dog and bracket venue is there's the 2 sets, and you can see they're ordered, so the first one is here. So we can look very quickly and say, when did we play there, what did we play, and how did we make out with the smelly bathroom. So hopefully this has given you a sense of it. It's quite easy. You can build a set, create one, update it. Let's just go and update one of these sets. We decided we weren't going to play song 2 on that set, if you remember, but let's say, yeah, actually I do want to play it. So now we've got to update this set here. We're going to save the set because nothing else has changed around it, and we're back to the venues. If we go into the October gig that we just updated, let's go in and have a look at it again. We'll see that song 2 is in there now. If we want to change the set list, it's going to take us straight to the list of set lists, so we can change it very quickly. Okay. I think that's everything on the set. So pretty easy drag and drop between the songs and the set. Let's look over here and see what we got. Edit. We've just done the edit, so you can drop in and change it. We have, I use this on my iPhone. I'm going to show you that in a second. But there are still folk who like to print out set lists. So what I did here was to create a simple print functionality. It's going to come up here. And you'll see it's a really basic set list, again with the display names, so you're going to see it. And essentially what this prints is about 12 songs to a side. It's really tough to get the web to print in formatted terms, so I've had to go with the 12 songs to a side. Yeah, I think that's all there is to say about the print functionality. I was pretty excited with GigView. I've been working on this to get this working, and this is what I use. So once you're in the system again, GigView, it's just firing up. Thinking about it, there it goes. It looks like the print view. There's 2 different things around the print view. The first is print view is just print. It just comes out standard. But what happens here is you can pick up these songs and drag them around. I'll talk about that in a second. So it says drag and drop things. It also says yellow on black. So yellow on black and black on white. It gives you 2 different views. Little known fact that actually black on white isn't good to see. It's hard to differentiate on black on white. Sometimes yellow on black is actually a better differentiation. So what happens is when you use this on your cell phone, for example, or on your iPhone, you can toggle between the 2 depending on your stage conditions. And I actually find it's easier to read the yellow on black, so that's why the yellow on black's there. The drag and drop is specifically for use on the fly on the iPhone, so that basically if you're in mid gig and you decide you want to change something in your flow, you can change it. At the moment that works for you alone using the set list. Again, one of the premium features will be, if and when I build that level, will be to be able to share this set list with all of your bandmates and then update it on the fly, and they'll be able to see the updates happening on the fly. So that's functionality to come though at the moment. I'm going to try and capture a video in a few minutes of me actually using it on the cell phone, and just so you can see the drag and drop working. I found a little clip for the mic stand for iPhone, which is really cool. So I used to have problems of looking down at the floor to read my set list to check what song was coming next while I was singing. And now I can just glance down, and the iPhone's just underneath my microphone, just far enough away that I can read it, which is really kind of cool. It's a different way of thinking about the gig. You're keeping your eye contact with the audience more, rather than looking down at the floor or looking at other people. So that really is is my set list in a nutshell. We've been through songs, so how to add songs and do a library, venues, how to add a venue here. So we can do that. We can see our gigs against the venue. We've got notes about the venue. We've done sets again, so you can see sets, drag and drop between the sets. This drag and drop functionality is really where it comes into its own as a tool, especially once you get into longer lists of songs. And with that, let me go over here. I'm just going to go in and show you my account so you can see what's happening here. So let's have a look. I'll actually just go straight into sets because it's worth doing that, and you'll see from just recently I've got sets for myself at different venues. I've got others coming up soon as well. Songs. Here's my songs. You'll see there's like 9 pages of songs. I wasn't joking about carrying around a long list of 80 songs. And you see I rate some of my songs for how they go. I've not really got into doing that yet, but that's something for the data-hungry musicians. It'll over time will be more valuable. But let's go over to sets. I just want to show you what it looks like with a lot of songs in there. You'll see. I actually just to mention, I play with Anne Castellano and the Smoke. I play lead guitar there. We played the Daffodil Festival fairly recently in Meriden, so I've got her set in there. I created some songs there for that. But we'll go to let's go to my recent gig at the Songbird. I've got another gig coming up. Actually, I can create my set here for this. So what I have here is here's my set from the Songbird Cafe. Here's all my songs. So you see how many there are. There's quite a few. I'm pretty happy with the set I played at the Songbird last time. There was one song I wanted to add, which was Resigned. Let me see if I can find it. I've been playing that again. It's one of my songs that was at the Dusty End that I haven't played live for a while. So I'm gonna lift Resigned over and put it in here. It's a capo song, so I'll put it after Untitled. That way it'll just it'll just fly. Oh, crikey! I didn't have signs. I think I'll play signs as well. Just as I see it. This is the beauty. I actually find myself as I scan my my set list. It's like, oh, okay, hang on a second. I haven't played that for a while. There's another one. I just scanned another one. It was down here. Transcendence. There it is. I'm gonna put that there. Now I need to make some space for those songs. So which ones don't I fancy? But I don't want to play Corinthian again. You see, I find myself thinking out loud as I'm doing this. The next gig there, I've just got it, is it's next week on Friday, and Trevor may be playing with me again, doing support, but we'll see about that. So with that, I'm going to create a new set. Remember, I said we'd create it. I'm not updating the old one. So here we go. We've just done create a new set. So you'll see it just here at the bottom of the list, the 8th of June. And it's in gig view. It really is that simple to create a set. You can see the this is the drag and drop view for the live gig. Again, I can edit that on the fly. The new songs are in there. We can go back to print. We can go to print mode. I don't actually print these out anymore. I got very used. It took me like 2 gigs to get used to using my cell phone to do this. So there's the print view. You can see it straight away. It works pretty well. So with that, I think that's everything. My set list is there. Come join me on the blog. Come read the entries I've got there and enjoy using it. Okay, bye.